Good afternoon, Gumbo lovers. My name is Ed Mueller, but everybody knows me as the Gumbo guy.
And I'm Laura Spencer, and we are the owners of Carolina Gumbaya.
What we're going to do for you today is we're going to make some gumbo. But I tell you what, everybody knows if you're a gumbo lover that it takes a lot of time to make gumbo, right? But
Today, we are going to show you how to make it in 4 minutes. That's right, 4 minutes.
oh, come on, you can't do that. You got to slice, you got to dice, you got to do the okra, you got to peel and devein the shrimp, you got to cut the peppers, and you got to saute all that, and then the spices. And you know what? That doesn't even take time for the roux. How are you going to do a roux in 4 minutes?
It's all in there.
Oh, I see. Well, we're taking a little shortcut, folks. This is our company. We make frozen seafood gumbo. We make it in 2 sizes, a pint and a quart. And in each of these, there's no rice. So it keeps the carbs low, makes us a real low carb friendly product. Also, the only preservatives that are in this product come through the flour and the andouille sausage. So it retains that really fresh taste, which is hard to do in a frozen product because most products in the frozen section have a lot, I mean a lot, of preservatives. And I know you can't see this right now, but this is our ingredient deck, okay? You can actually read it. You don't need a PhD to do it either. So what we're doing now is getting our gumbo ready, less than 4 minutes as we said, and we're gonna give it a try. A quick little overview of our company and how we started. We moved to North Myrtle Beach about 6 years ago, and one of the first places that we set up to sample in was the wine shop right here in North Myrtle Beach. We had made our gumbo when we came here and looked for other places, grocery stores, restaurants, a lot of places, and we found no gumbo. So we did a little research, and we found out that gumbo actually started in South Carolina in the 1600s. It was brought here by the West Africans, the Gullah people, and they made what they called a gumbo, an okra stew. Well, it's evolved over the years, and when we found this out, well, like any other good entrepreneur that saw a niche in the marketplace, we just decided to make our gumbo and sell it. Who wouldn't do that, right? So, yeah, we're a little crazy, but we did it. We thought we'd just sell it to restaurants, and that'd work, and just have a nice little living. Well, you know what? That didn't cut it. So we walked into a store, a very large retail outlet, on December 17th of 2013. And they said yes, they'd sell our product. Well, 15 months later, we got in, and that was Walmart. And we'll tell you more about that story later. How's that gumbo coming, Laura?
Almost ready.
All right, we got 4 minutes on it? We're gonna have it in 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
All right, that's good. Okay. What we have really done is worked hard at building a relationship here in North Myrtle Beach and South Carolina. But as our business is growing, it's taken us into 5 other states. And we want to share that with you in another moment. But what we're going to do now is show you our gumbo. And we made it. It's under 4 minutes, okay? And Steve, if you want to come on in, Steve's part owner of the wine shop here, and we want to let him taste it for you a little bit. But before we let him taste it, I want to show you this gumbo just a little bit. What we've got here is this is seafood gumbo. And if you notice, this is a blonde roux that we use. It's not a Nolan style, which is a really, really, really dark roux and really soupy. Our gumbo tends to be a little more stew-like. So give her a try, Steve. Let's hear what you got to say.
Wow, that's great flavors on that, Ed.
Very cool.
Very delicious.
Take one more bite because I want this to tell me where the flavor hits.
Right on the back of the palate with the nice spices you got in there.
See?
Absolutely delicious. Only one thing though, Ed, that would make this a little bit better. Maybe that's if you had a little pickful de Panay.
I like the white wine with it, but you know what? If I had my choice, and it had $1 million, I think I'd have a nice French Chateauneuf de Pape. Wouldn't you, Mr. Wonderful? So that's, you know, when you say the spices, this was the most difficult thing for us to get together was the spice. Because I didn't want so much heat on the front of the tongue. I wanted the flavors to come through. And we get many layers of flavor in our gumbo. You're going to taste the okra. You're going to taste the tomato. You're going to get the shrimp, and you're going to get the andouille sausage in there. You're going to have a bit of heat, but it's not that front of the tongue where it burns you and you can't taste anything else. This is the back of the tongue, and it's very, well, some people say it's subtle, some say it's too hot, but it's great. If you think it's not hot enough, well, we've got gumbo seasoning. And this really adds a nice little jump to it. And it's exactly the seasoning that we've got in there. The shrimp, I want to tell you just real quickly on this, they're pretty good size. Okay, they're a medium shrimp that we use, and they're whole in here. And what I mean by whole is there's no head on them, but it's peeled and deveined in a whole shrimp. In every quart, there's 12 shrimp, and in the pints, there's 6 shrimp. So that's pretty much our gumbo in a nutshell, and I'm sure now that you want to hear some business numbers, right? We're not here just to look good and give you wine and the gumbo, all right? So our business started in 2013. Since we started in that time, and we started off selling in farmers markets, in festivals, in events around town, from the beginning to now, our gross sales have been $300,000. In 2015, we did $80,000. So far in 2016, we've done $150,000. And with stores that we have coming on that are committed and we have orders for, we project that we're going to do between $300,000 and $500,000 for total in 2016. Now, that sounds pretty amazing for 3 years of growth. If you want to hear what 2017 is going to bring, we have commitments that should put us in the $1.5 to $2 million area, and that's not a stretch. And I'd be happy during a Q&A time to explain how we came at those numbers, but they're not far-fetched. How our business works is we have a co-packer, and this co-packer handles the manufacturing of our product and the shipping. What do?
Everything else.
Everything else, okay? And that's from doing the daily books, to doing the invoicing, to doing the POs, to doing the ad creations, doing the ads, lining up ads in newspapers, social media, so on and so forth. But the most important thing that I think that we do as owners of this company is we have tried to get to every store that we have. And that's over 200 store outlets that sell our gumbo. We've tried to get to them, meet the meat managers, the store managers, and I'm talking, we're going to stores that got 100,000 products in there. And all of a sudden, the owner of a new product comes in and introduces themselves. We've been told that's pretty amazing. They've never had anybody do that. So we're real proud of that. And we do in-store demos in stores that'll allow us to do it. And the responses that we've got from people are just incredible, except for one that we got last night. And they said our food was bland and tasteless. I can't believe it. I mean, we've had people that go, oh, that's too hot, too spicy, you know. But this one, she was too funny. But I had to say it, you know, I mean, we've got to give you both sides, right? I'm not just going to make everything be wine and roses here. But I'd take wine. Wine will work, all right? If you invest in us, if you choose to partner with us, what we want to do is we want to grow our line. And by saying that, we want to come out with a vegetarian gumbo. We want to come out with a chicken and sausage gumbo. We have a distributor that has great ties with restaurants and institution markets, so we want to make a gumbo base that the restaurants can use and make it their own. And we have institutional markets, hotels and so forth, that size product would work great. We also might be in the need of an employee pretty soon, so we're running a little ragged, but we love it, okay? And the other thing is to take our seasoning and get this marketed. We think it's a great tie-in, great add-on sale that works very well with it. One of the questions that you folks asked us was, what's been our biggest challenge? And we both agree right from the beginning, we were looking for a mentor. We were looking for somebody to get us started, get us into the right path. Well, Laura and I have both owned restaurants in a past life, shall we say. And this gave us a little guidance into it. But I'll tell you what, we've used common sense. What we feel is the right way to run a business. And then we've picked up little tidbits from people that we've been associated with, the Department of Agriculture, our co-packer. They kind of give us a little path as to where we need to go. And it's been very, very helpful. But with a shark on board, what you guys could offer us would be amazing. But what do we have to offer you? What are we looking for? Well, the main thing we're looking for is somebody with passion, somebody that loves gumbo, maybe somebody that wants to make money. We'd take that, okay? Where could this be applied and who are we looking for? Where do we think this business can grow to? Well, we're looking at distributorship, we're looking at manufacturers. Most importantly, how do we put it into play? Well, if anybody had a tie-in maybe with any sports teams or concessions or things like this, we think it'd be perfect for the suites, maybe the high-end person. But also, you could set it up and sell it as poutine. Gumbo over French fries. What a concept. And if there's anybody that has any ties maybe with a shopping network, geez, if we were to tie in with somebody that had a steak, we could do a Southern surf and turf, okay? A filet mignon and a seafood gumbo, perfect. Another thing that we came up with is a seafood, no it's not, it's a Southern Benedict. And it's got a crab cake and gumbo and rice. We could do that mail order. We could hook up with somebody. But we're really interested in the direction that you folks can give us, okay? Finally, I guess what we'd like to say is, come on the gumbo train. Let's have fun. Gumbo on, y'all.